That was a harsh call.
That was a harsh fade out. Sorry about that, but welcome to the growth call. That's like ripping the Band-Aid right off and getting us right into it, getting your attention. No more fades. No, I'm not fading out anymore in 2023. I'm not fading.
All right, we're going to even stop saying the word fade out because that just doesn't work for us. All right, so here we are Monday afternoon, 2:00, which means we are on the growth call. And Brooke, Cassie, and I are extremely excited to have our very own regional operating principal on the call with us as our guest. If you do not know Matt Erdman, you will today, and you'll want more of what he has to drop. And I think he has some more stuff happening. I think even tomorrow. Anyway, I'll let him talk about it. Yet really excited to have him come on today and really talk to you about the current market and about some wealth building strategies. So Matt, welcome to the growth call.
Sweet. Thank you for having me.
Yes. And as Cassie said in the comment section, if you are at your office or somewhere where you are not driving, please put your cameras on because Matt gets his energy from seeing pictures. So do we. So please, right, Matt?
Yeah, I was going to say, you stole the words from me. The first thing I was going to do is ask everybody if you are fully dressed and it is safe for you to put your camera on. Please do so. It is weird to sit here and talk and engage with a bunch of black boxes that just have white names. Like, it's way more fun when I can see people. I know if they're laughing, if they're bored, if they're watching TV, like way more fun that way when I can feed off the energy. So everyone who just put their camera back on, I appreciate you.
Tyler looks like his head is floating in like a black abyss of somewhere, but I like it. It's like the queen of.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, right? Tyler is floating. That's what happens when you're in New Hampshire.
Yeah, it's dark down here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does look like you're in a black room with just like a black light shining directly on your face. You look a little bit like a villain.
People are like, this is why I don't put my camera on.
I know, right? We just ask everyone to turn the cameras on. Now we're calling you all out. My apologies.
All right, Matt, let's get started because we only have a short period of time to drop some golden nuggets, as we call them. So tell us a little bit about who you are for those of us who don't know you, and why did you pick real estate?
That's a funny story. So a little bit about me. I'm a dad, I'm a husband. I just realized about a month ago that I've been in real estate for 18 years. I've been telling people that I have been in real estate for 12 years, and I realized I stopped counting 6 years ago. So literally I had to get ready for a podcast. They sent me a list of questions, and when I wrote it, it didn't feel right, even though I've been saying it forever. And all of a sudden I did the math and I was like, well, I stopped counting 6 years ago. So anyways, I've been in real estate for 18 years. Like, as far as KW goes, I often joke I've done everything except the MCA role. I've been an agent, I've run a small team, I've been a team leader, I've been a MAPS coach, I've been an OP, a regional OP, and have been a real estate investor that entire time. So that's kind of me personally and me professionally in a nutshell. How I got in real estate, super cheesy. I was one of 5 kids, didn't have a lot of money, single mom. She was a nurse. I had a paper route. That was a thing. It gives you a little glimpse into roughly how old I am. The only thing on TV early in the morning when I was getting ready for the paper route and eating my Cocoa Puffs was cartoons and infomercials, like a bunch of get rich quick folks like Carlton Sheets, if anyone remembers them. And as a kid growing up with very little means, I was just enamored by the idea that you could create freedom and wealth through real estate. So that's kind of where I caught the real estate bug, from get rich quick infomercials and my Cocoa Puffs at a very young age.
Learn something new every day. Cocoa Puffs. Now I know, Matt. So good. All right. So tell us, one of the things that you like to do and share is wealth build in real estate. And I know, can we just throw that out there now? What you have going on with that?
Yeah. So there's 2 things I'd love to talk to you about. One of them is that. So the thing that I'm most often and most largely passionate about doing is teaching and training around wealth building. So that's both, how do we run our business in such a way that it produces the most amount of profit? How do we run our life in such a way that we can build true wealth, right? At the end of the day, it's really, I don't want to say it's easy. There's a lot of folks in this industry who make a lot of money. And at the end of it, we've got a lot of awards, we've got a lot of stories, but we don't have a lot in the way of tangible wealth. right, as a result of our career. So I kind of discovered that really early. When I first started, I was with a different company. I joined an office that had the top agents in that particular area. They were all rock stars. I looked up to them. They had billboard signs everywhere, all this stuff. And as I got to know them personally, I discovered a lot of them had very little financial means, and a lot of them had pretty significant financial challenges. So that was kind of like a slap in the face for me, and young and naive, I didn't understand. But at the end of the day, it's common not only in our industry, just in the self-employed space in general. A lot of times we're really good at our trade, whatever it is we do, but maybe nobody's ever taught us, or we never slowed down to actually understand how to run the business side of it. No matter what you do for a living, if you are self-employed, you really have two businesses: the thing you do and then running that business. They're two entirely different things. If you're a dentist, you can be phenomenal at fixing teeth and terrible at running a business. So that's the thing I'm most passionate about. Tomorrow, which somewhat ties into the wealth, it very much ties into the wealth building piece. Tomorrow, I'm going to be doing a 1-hour webinar, yes, on Valentine's Day. So bring your loved ones. Primarily, we're going to be focusing on tax strategies that allow you to keep more of the money that you've earned. So you want to get romantic, right? You want to impress your significant other, invite him to a tax strategy class on Valentine's Day.
I love it. It is.
If you haven't figured it out, don't come to me for relationship advice.
It's so true. It's so true. All right, what's the other thing?
So the other thing that I just think is timely right now, would everybody agree that the market we're in today is a very different market than we were in 12 months ago? Very different, right? So I think it's an important conversation to have. Depending on where you are in your career and whether or not you have already lived through a significant shift in our industry, you may be having some emotions around it, right? And there's a couple of things you have to know. Number one, welcome to real estate. Real estate is like, just like the tides go in and out, the sun goes up and down, real estate ebbs and flows, right? So you have to understand, if you're choosing to make your living in this industry, you're going to have, the industry itself is going to have high points and low points as far as the direction it's going in, whether that's price point, whether that's the amount of units that are happening, whether that's where the transactions are happening, right? It's going to ebb and flow. It is going to change. That does not mean your business has to do the same thing, but it may mean you have to change some of your strategies in order to get the same and or greater results in a different market. So the one thing I just want to talk about is, number one, anyone who's been in the business the last 3 years, you're about to get introduced to real estate, i.e. what has happened the last 3 years is not normal, right? One of the things that happened in the last 3 years, most of us who are full-time active in this business, you guys were running around like crazy. If you had 3 buyers, you had to submit 442 offers to get one of those buyers a home, right? So you were just running around like crazy people trying to keep up with the business. And it did lead to a lot of us making a lot of money, yet there was no time for anything. One of the things that happened in that crazy pace is training and education got devalued, right? Like, I joke around, and I apologize if this isn't appropriate, but I say to my own team, you know, you're trying to get people to slow down and come to training in that environment. These folks don't have time to go to the bathroom. Like, so when you start talking to them about going to a class, like, they're so busy just trying to keep up with the pace of the market. My point in sharing that is, in that space, education gets devalued. I promise you, as somebody who has lived through and led a lot of people through a shift, I got into the business in a shift and got into leadership in a shift. Education is what's going to get you through it, right? The folks who actually lean in right now to learn are the ones who are going to come out the other side of this monsters in this business. And I can tell you, the last shift in my market center, the people in my market center today who are anywhere from 25 to 100 million plus in sales volume, going into the shift of 2008, they were $5-6 million producers. I watched the entire agent population split into 2 groups. One that either A, got out of the business, or B, stopped paying attention to the business and started looking for get-rich-quick schemes. right? And I can list off a whole host of them that they got sucked into. Then the other group is the ones who put their heads down and did the work. Those folks came out the other side with massive businesses. They took market share during that time. So here's what I would encourage you to do. Number one, decide if you want to be in the business. If you do, lean in, get educated, train. The best people in this business never stop learning. The minute you think you know everything, you're done. There isn't a person on this call, there isn't a person in this company, there isn't a person in this industry who knows it all. So keep learning. Number two, look at the things you're doing. Are they the things that are going to get you business in this market? If you need to make a pivot, make a pivot. Once again, lean into your leadership, ask questions, learn, talk to the agents who have been through a shift. But if you put the activities in and you put the time into learning, you're going to be the ones who take market share during this shift and come out the other side with massive businesses. Questions, comments, details?
So we told Matt he had 15 minutes. He is doing really well. But he doesn't with timing. So this is the time for you guys to ask him any question that comes up or you're thinking about right now, because he has 4 minutes left. So go.
All
All
right,
right,
Bob.
Matt. What else can you, what else would you?
We've got a hand up.
Oh, we
I've got a hand up. Go ahead.
Matt, what's your number one recommendation to us right now?
Number one recommendation is I'm gonna give you one that's gonna sound generic, and I mean it. Show up. I really do believe the difference is showing up. Right
Yeah,
when I
64
start,
people showing up, so that's a good start,
Yeah.
right?
every day's a work day. Show up and do the work. And in our business, doing the work is having real estate conversations. It's leaning into our database, calling our database, right? And whatever other lead generation strategies we have, lean into those things and lean into them hard. Like that's our job. Get up every day, act like it's a job, like it's a career, do the work, and you will inevitably be successful, right? From there, it's continue to learn so you get better at the things that you're doing. But here's the truth. If you do the right thing consistently and you're bad at it, you will outperform 90% of the people in this industry. Period, end of story. And I've watched it happen. I have watched this talent beat this talent with consistency over and over and over. So number one is just show up. The other thing I would add a little bit more specifically is number one, database is always a part of your business. Every business needs 3 legs in order to be stable. Database, your sphere of influence, should always be one of those legs. What are your other 2 legs? And I would encourage you in this market, think about need to sell, not want to sell. Who are the folks who need to sell, not want to sell? If I'm picking my other 2 legs, which are going to be my other 2 lead generation levers today, I'm going to be thinking about who are the people who need to sell, not want to sell. And lastly, remember, top agents, 78% of their business comes from 3 places: database, open house, internet leads. And by the way, internet leads don't have to be paid up front. So just think about those things. Who needs to sell, not want to sell, show up. And remember, 78% of the top agents' business only come from 3 places. So consider those 3 things when you're thinking about your 3 legs.
Right, I have a comment I have a question in the comments, and then we'll go to Corinna. Best lead generation tip that you have,
Do it.
just do it. Okay, whatever lead generation you're gonna do it.
I mean, nobody likes that answer. And it's true. Just decide what your niche is and get after it. So for me, I was an Expired and FSBO guy in the beginning of my career, because I started my business in a place where I knew nobody. I knew 11 people. So when they said, go call the people you know, I was like, cool. And then I came back like 7 minutes later. It was like, I talked to 2 people and left 7 voicemails. What next? And they were like, huh? Which, by the way, they didn't ask the next question. You mean you only know 11 people on the planet? If they said that, I would have said, oh, no, I know a bunch of people. I only know 11 that live here because I just moved here. They never asked me that question. However, because I had a small sphere where I lived, I had to be prospecting based. I had to go meet people. So for me, it was for sale by owners and expires. And later, what I added to that was business to business. When I created relationships with people that I could help them grow their business and they could help me grow mine, those relationships started to feed my business. And when the market shifted, that's when I sat down and said, who are the need to sell, not want to sell folks? And I made a list and I started going after those. Those looked like banks for foreclosures. I was doing short sales. I was doing folks transitioning, life transitions, right? Maybe going into assisted living, things like that. So I was prospecting to attorneys who help people navigate that. I was asking myself, who needs to sell, not want to sell, and how do I get myself into that space? Karina?
Sorry. So basically, one question I want to ask, because I've been hearing this quite a bit. I have a coach. It seems like people are like dumping their coaches right now. Is that, if we live in education, I don't think that's the right thing to do, but maybe I'm the knucklehead.
If you have a good and effective coach, don't cut them. If you don't have a good and effective coach, fire them and get a new coach who is good and effective. I would agree with you. I have had a coach for as long as I can remember. And to this day, I still get value out of it because everything is always changing, and it's a person who has experience who can offer me perspective, right? The thing you have to remember about a coach, like I always use like sort of a military analogy. There's a reason that there's folks who are on the battlefield, boots on the ground, and there's someone else sitting in a safe place watching everything. You make decisions differently when the bullets are flying and the fight is 6 inches in front of your face. There has to be someone who has a different view that can offer a different perspective, right? Because when we're in the chaos of it, we tend to just see the 6 inches in front of our face. A really good coach gives you that perspective, and they call you out on your bullshit, to be candid, right? And we need that in this, right? Like our biggest enemy is us, period. Right? Real estate is simple, not easy. The reason it's not easy is because we have all sorts of noise in between the 6 inches between our ears. That's what slows us down. That's what gets in the way. The coach helps us push through that. So I would argue, yes, when you have a good coach, you don't cut your coach. You look at everything else. A coach should have an ROI.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
That was incredible. We could just talk to you all day.
We could. And as I mentioned in the chat section, if you haven't listened to Think Like a CEO podcast with Gary Keller and Jay Papasan, go listen to that. And his latest podcast that he just dropped the last couple of weeks, he talks specifically about that, Karina, about how first, like when people get in a shift, the first thing they do is get rid of their coach. And he said, that's the craziest thing you could do. Your coach is the one that's going to help you thrive through your business because they're going to hold you accountable to what you have to do. So don't cut the things that are going to help you get the things done to thrive through your business. So go listen to that podcast. It's really good. Matt Erdman, thank you so much. Can you stay on so you could see what we have going on with our content? And then we always give away something at the end of these calls. So see who our winner is too. Will be done by 2:30 today. Cassie, can we show our screen?
And don't forget to stay on for the second half because we are giving away our Audible Plus winner today for Growth Pre. So if you put in your race, the Growth Pre winner for the Audible Plus is being chosen today.
Cool.
Thanks, Matt.
All right, friends. Tomorrow's Valentine's Day. You still have time to order flowers if you forgot or needed to. I actually don't celebrate this in our house with my husband. It's a day we've always used to throw some extra love at our kids. So it's Valentine's Day. For me, that means showing appreciation for all of you who support my business. Thank you for always showing me the love. Guys, we are always asking for something. Today, we are just giving love with this post because sometimes we don't need to ask, and take. This is one of those days when people do respond, you thank them and thank them and thank them. Yes, I do not love this holiday either. I've always felt it was very commercial, but as I got into a business where you use every social media holiday as a way to get in front of people, it's one of the things where now we can flip it and put our own message on it. Also a great time to say, do you want to find out more about why I love what I do so much? Right? Why is real estate the key to my heart? I do have a few puns coming. This is not even the good ones. And there are some more designs if you don't like this one in designs. But I thought it was cute. All right. Can I talk to you about
that? I added one. You didn't notice I added
I
one.
didn't.
It's okay. All right. You can keep going.
I will. I love love. I love love.
All right. Wednesday, the 15th.
So I got to tell you guys, when my husband came home a few weeks ago and the fridge is being emptied out, he was like, why are there so many blank in our fridge? He was like, we could live off of blank, Brooke. He goes, this is ridiculous that we need a fridge for blank. So fill in the blank. The one thing I always have in my fridge when you open the door is,
Was yours avocados?
I mean, it could be avocados or milk. I was looking for food icons, bags of rotting lettuce, mine, sauces. He screamed, he's like, why do we have so many dressings? Why do we have garlic Caesar when we have regular Caesar? Can't you just throw garlic in your Caesar?
Right. You could sell your eggs for like a lot of money right
You
now.
could.
Get rid of those. That's an
You
investment, in
could.
that, right?
Literally, you could always, no matter when you open my fridge, I could have nothing else in there. We could survive off of condiments. I could figure out how to make something out of, he screams, it drives him crazy, but I like sauces. So we have a lot of dressings, all different mayos. We have Chick-fil-A sauce. There is always something. I love doing this. So my fridge lights up my life is one of your silly tags, and from custard to mustard, because we got to have that alliteration. It's very interesting to see, Kyle. I see you cracking up. It's always interesting to see what's in people's fridges. There one thing, one thing, if you didn't pick up on that, one thing that they always have in their fridge, and magnets or no magnets. I have one of those fridges where they don't stick on certain sides. I don't have a choice.
It's too funny.
All right. And then this or that Thursday, because it's the week of love and we always see treats around. I actually got a Valentine today. Look at this. I got a Valentine when I walked in. I was so excited. Anyway, today's this or that is battle chocolate. You got to say that in your Iron Chef voice. So which do you prefer, classic milk chocolate or the slightly bitter but ever popular dark chocolate? I'll put mine in the comments. So again, these puns get me in a little bit of trouble. So you can just do what you want to do with these puns. Wake me up before you, Coco might have been. No, Nicole, I think our friendship just ended. I can't. It's not even chocolate. It's not even chocolate. Oh, dark chocolate caramel with flaky sea salt. Faye gave me some when I was visiting the market center one day. And I threatened my family within inches of their life if they touched the other one that was left in the box. What are people saying? I'm seeing peanut butter. Oh yeah, dark chocolate is healthy. Guys, this is a great one. Look at the back and forth here. You're going to see this back and forth on your page. Ask people, where do you get it? Right? Where are you getting these delicious dark chocolates with the flaky sea salt? Where is your favorite place to get them? Can I get them locally? Oh, you make them? Oh, you make them. I would love those. How do I make them or get you to make them for me?
Cassie, I mean, Brooke, this is not nice for Cassie, who is very pregnant right now. And I can see that she just wants to talk about all the chocolate and she's trying to look for it right now.
Someone literally left like a massive thing of Reese's peanut butter cups, which are my favorite. By the way, you can go tag that in your database. On the kitchen table of the market center, and I saw it first thing this morning, and I absolutely grabbed a handful of them without any shame and have them right here.
I've always said
Got a
the
lot of chocolate
ultimate key to
right
my
now.
heart is dark chocolate. Like my husband can come home with something and be like, hi, by the way, and then has the bag. And I'm like, what are you going to say? Just give me the chocolate first and then we'll talk about it. I love chocolate. I do.
Cassie,
Yeah.
you like peanut butter cups because your maiden name is Bonifant. Because
That's
I am telling you, I don't know a Bonifant who doesn't.
it. That's so true, Karina. For anyone that's wondering, Karina and I have no idea if we're actually related or not, but we think like long term there's like some chain down the family tree where we're probably from the same area of Canada.
Aw.
Probably, yeah, probably.
So Nicole put in the chat, and I want to make sure you guys saw this because this is the magic behind these this or that Thursdays. Tag your database with what they like. If you're in the area, drop off a little treat. right? If you see a new dessert place open, get that info out to them. It's different ways that you remember things about people that matter. Right now, you will never give me white chocolate after my reaction to what Nicole put in the chat. You will never bring me white chocolate. Like, right? Silly things like that. How we get in front of our database, have it a data bank and show them love is by remembering small things that are important to them. Not in a creepy way, guys. Don't be creepy about it. But remember things. Remember things that are important. Okay?
All right, good stuff this week, Brooke. Thank you very much. Matt, any final last tips, words of advice that you'd like to share before we give our prize away?
I would just say, stay out of your head and stay in action.
Out of your head, stay in action. Use the tools that we're providing for you, the tips and tricks and stuff like this on the social media, and get out there and do it is what I hear. So thank you so much, Matt. I really appreciate you. We all appreciate you being here today. Please come back on another one of our calls. And guys, Cassie threw in the chat the link for tomorrow's tax strategy session. Get on that, because trust me, you're going to want to learn a little bit more on, as you build wealth, how to have these tax strategies in your world. So thank you so much, Matt. All right, let's give something away.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I'm gonna throw a couple links in the chat. So we have our resources that we'll send out, our Facebook group where you could stay up to date with everything that we're doing. The tax strategy webinar that Matt's hosting tomorrow. He also has a class coming in May that we haven't launched yet, but save the date. It's his whole agent wealth building class that he does. It's typically, we've done it before virtually in a 4-part series, but we are excited to bring it in person this year. So it'll be one day in person with Matt on May 4th. And then I'll throw our training calendar in there as well, because we have a lot of cool trainings that are coming up right now that we've started launching. So including career visioning, I think is the latest one. If you haven't seen that yet, that's something that's on your growth plan for this year. So today's winner is going to get to decide between either a shift book, a first-time home buyer book, or a profit first book. And today's winner is Kyle Oliveira out of Southwood Tuppa. Kyle, are you on?
I'm here. Thank you.
Congrats,
You know what,
Kyle.
Kyle was like the most interactive and I feel like gave the most energy on this call. So I'm so excited that you won, Kyle. Congratulations.
I love it. Awesome. What's my 3 options again? Profit.
Profit first, shift, or the first time home buyer book. So
Is it-
any of those you can have for yourself or share with somebody.
Is it shifting to Overthrive? I have that.
It's- Yeah, shifting the Overthrive is like the class we did, but there's the actual shift
I'm
book.
sorry. Yep.
No, you're good. So if you want to pick something else, you're more than welcome to.
Profit. Let's go.
Let's do it. I will connect with you in your email to get the book to you, okay?
Thank you. I also want to share, I'm doing some pop buys today.
Woo!
Love it.
I was just there and those weren't in the market center when I was there. I'm just gonna.
I had these made by my cookie lady.
Hi, cookie lady.
How it
Always
is.
gonna have a cookie lady. Learn
Every
from
time I
Kyle.
do a
Cookie
closing
lady.
there usually. But it's called Marble Street Sweets. She's actually an agent in the office as well.
Oh,
Look at
guys.
that.
Absolutely. Awesome. Thanks for sharing.
No problem. Thank you.
All right, gang, stay on because we're going to give away the Audible, but I'm going to stop this and restart the recording. Jen, I know you have to jump off. Matt, feel free to jump if you got to. Thank
Bye,
you
guys.
so much for pouring into our agents today. You guys are the best.
Thank you.